On a day that they had 6 players named to the Pro Bowl, the Seattle Seahawks doubled down on their practices as they prepare for the Carolina Panthers. Richard. Tyrese Knight. Walk me anytime. Ray Thomas. Bonberg. Jake Barner. That's a big man.
Like that, just like that, like that, on that money train and that making it on the train. The cornerback, well protectors for the Warriors.
It's just about like how bought in everyone is, and you know, the thing you do when you have team success, not just player success. Everyone gets their chance to shine, man. Like I said, we don't really care about the stats, bro. Everybody, whoever makes that play, we go out there and celebrate. And I think that's just a testament of this team. Honest to win, go 1-0 every week. So whatever compliment come with that, we appreciate it though. But you know, we looking at the bigger picture. Like I said, I think a lot of that was just self-inflicted wounds. Like it's loud and looming, but it's hard to communicate. And when we got things on live motion and stuff like that, it's just hard to communicate when the fans are that loud. But you know, we got to take that challenge on practicing that better throughout the week, and then just getting used to the crowd noise. So it was a lot of self-inflicted wounds, but they made a lot of great plays, and they made them. So I just know a lot of people were talking about it early on in his career about numbers and stuff like that. That's why, again, I don't pay attention to all that stuff. But I'm like, y'all just don't know who he is and what he could do until he get his chance to show the world, you know. So, like I said, I'm just proud, man. You know, I'm happy for my dog. Like, just put some respect on his name. You know, just an honor, man. You know, you got to take the accomplishment that come with this. You got to cherish those moments. They don't come by very often. So, I'm happy and I'm grateful for that.
Is that?
You know, headed on the road to the East Coast again, and you know, we're looking forward to it. You know, just to have that honor, and you know, it really reflects the hard work that everyone's put in. You know, starting when we got here in April. So, total team award. Really good win. Again, like I said at the end in the press conference, I think there's a lot to clean up. You know, offensively at least. So we looked at that yesterday and kind of figured out the details, some stuff, how we can get better that way. But yeah, obviously it's a great win and a great team win. You know, when offense wasn't necessarily playing well, the defense stepped up and vice versa. So, and then special teams stepped up in a huge way. But as we know, there's a lot that we can all get better from in that win, and you know, we'll leave it at that. Obviously, getting ready for a short week is always, it's tough. You know, on a lot of guys, especially, you know, obviously mentally, but also physically. So to be able to get that, you know, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you know, a few days off is always nice. We always admired him growing up, watching him play, and you know, I was able to actually watch him play quite a bit, even, you know, still as I was in the league. You know, watching him kind of, you know, do his thing in a 2-minute drill. Like, I never felt like his body language never changed, whether he was in the first quarter of a game or the last 2 minutes. So that was something I always admired, and yeah.
It means a lot. I think it's nice to be recognized and you know, honored, and I feel like it's just like a respect thing, honestly. It was interesting though, last year, you know, it meant so much to me when I didn't make it, and then like at the same time when Coach kind of announced it, you know, it's not like I had like I wasn't like jumping for a joy. It was kind of just like, I don't know how to explain it. I think honestly just treating it the same way we did, you know, beginning, middle, you know, up until last week, like how we have been every week, is just taking it 1 week at a time. I think that's what's been able to take us this far, and I think that's the same mission right now. We're focused on Carolina. You know, what we call the fourth quarter and something like that situation that you're talking about is the death zone. That's something that, you know, we refer to it on this team, and that's a place where we like to thrive as a team. So we know that, you know, he's a good quarterback in the fourth quarter, and we're going to consider the fourth quarter death zone. So I think, you know, as a defense, we're going to want to step to the occasion, step to the plate, and we're going to want to thrive in that situation.
Honestly, towards the back, I really never thought about it, but now that it's here, it's kind of a surreal feeling. Super just thankful and blessed in this moment. Adapted to a new place. You know, I feel like I kind of just had to drop everything and kind of come to a new organization, a new environment, and that was kind of the toughest part, but I feel like I got accumulated very quickly. The guys helped with that, the coaches helped, so it wasn't too hard of an adjustment. In this locker room, in this franchise, is obviously one of the best in the league, and you know, being around these great coaches and these great teammates, it's helped a ton. It's allowed me to just come in and just focus on football and not, you know, get caught up in many other things. You know, I feel like I've been able to, you know, get accumulated very quick, and just being a part of this organization has been nothing short of amazing.
All right, so there you go. You saw some B-roll, and then you heard from three of the 6 players. You hear from the other 3 tomorrow that were named to the Pro Bowl. That is Sam Darnold. You heard from Devon Witherspoon, Leonard Williams, Rashid Shaheed, I guess that's 4. And then tomorrow we'll hear from Jackson Smiht-Njigba and also DeMarcus Lawrence. But what the practice is about now is the Seahawks, to a man, they're saying, you know what, We're learning from the mistakes we made in the win over the Rams, and then incorporating those lessons learned in Sunday's game against Carolina. Look, the Panthers are coming off an impressive 23-20 win over Tampa Bay Buccaneers to keep their division ground hopes alive. The two teams would play again, but that win has got Carolina feeling real good about themselves. Now, the Panthers, their offense is ranked 25th overall, but their run game is ranked 11th. And Rico Dowdell has 1,007 yards rushing. So, again, it's the same old story, if you will, with the Seahawks. They need to stop the run. And one thing I talked with Shaquille Griffin, he told me, he said, what teams are now doing with the Seahawks is that they're hurrying up on the offense, is that they're trying to set up and not the offenses, not to have the Seahawks defense set up, because that's what makes the Seahawks defense unique, is because it looks the same, but then the communication between the players makes it so that they can disguise who's coming on the blitz and who's taking what gaps. And what Shaquille said, now teams are trying to hurry up so that we can't communicate as quickly. And so he said, and this is what we're learning to do, because it's better that we learn it now as we get ready for all the games that are coming up down the stretch. All right, from the VMAC and Renton, I'm Asvita Mara Ere.